I'm Matt with etrailer. If you plan on taking any trips with your family and you're taking your RV, but you want a ladder to get on top of your roof that's going to be very compact, then the Lippert On-The-Go Telescoping Ladder is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. This is what it's going to look like in its retracted position. This is very compact and it's going to save you a lot of space, especially when you are taking those trips and you need to store any additional gear inside your camper. And it's going to be perfect for either putting underneath or inside or even in the vehicle you're hauling this with. Now we can actually check out how it's going to be just to use it. So if I just remove that strap, all I have to do is really just pull up on this. It's already going to start telescoping. And then I'll get to a certain point where I can just hook this in on this pre-installed bracket we have in our camper. And with that hooked into place at the right angle, I can start using it. If you find yourself in a situation where maybe you need to access a different part of your roof because maybe you need to access your solar panels or your AC unit, but you don't want to travel all the way across, you can simply move this to the location you need it. You just need to make sure at this point that we are making contact with the top of our roof, and we have this roughly at about a 75-degree angle like I have now. As you can see, this is still going to work perfectly fine. I can climb up here pretty high, and it is going to have some flexing to it. That's pretty common even on the side without or with the bracket. Now this will still have a 330-pound weight capacity, so you should be fine as long as you stay within that. I'll give you a few dimensions of how tall this is going to be. This is going to be 12.5 feet fully extended. Now it is important to note that if your camper is 12.5 feet tall, this might not work. And that's because we do have this at an angle to use it properly. So you are going to be losing a little bit of height. The next thing I want to talk about is just going to be the spacing in between each one of these rungs when you're using it. This is important to know so you're not taking too crazy of steps. So this is going to be just under 12 inches. So kind of keep that in mind when you are using it. When I do use it, I don't feel like this is too far of a step, especially since this is at an angle. It actually feels a little bit comfortable. And let's check out this in the retracted position. And to do so, we're actually going to come over to these tabs. These are going to be your locking and unlocking tabs. So the way this works is you actually have to pull both of them in at the same time. If I try one, it's not going to work. So I'll push in both, make sure I have this fully upright. And one thing to watch out for is make sure you don't have your fingers underneath here because it will kind of pinch them. You can see here, sometimes it'll stop at this halfway point. That's okay. I'd like to just keep going. This feels pretty smooth for the most part. Like I said, sometimes it will get caught. So just kind of keep moving around. And I've been messing with this for a little bit. And at first it felt a little bit slow, but after using it a couple times, this doesn't really take any time at all. And in this position, this is only going to stick at about 33.5 inches. You'll notice we have this strap. That's going to keep these in place so they're not going to be spreading apart when you try to move it. And I'm going to get a few measurements. Just going to see how it's like just to live with it. So for the depth, that's going to be about 1.5 inches. So that's going to be how much of your foot is sitting on here, which earlier I didn't have any issues. It felt pretty good. And for the width, for the interior dimensions, that's going to be about 13.5. So that's going to be about the usable space we have to really put our feet on here. So that's plenty. And if you notice, we do have this tread on these rails, which is perfect because that's going to give you more traction when you're using this. And speaking of that traction, if I flip this around, you'll notice we have some additional traction on the bottom. This is going to be great for helping this stick in place so it's not going to be sliding on you, and it's going to be perfect for different terrains. To show you how much space we are saving, we got a regular step ladder out here, and you can really just see the difference right off the bat. Trying to take this on a trip with you isn't going to be very likely. Now, one of the benefits though is when you are using this is going to feel very sturdy. You won't have any flexing with it, but again, not likely for those trips. Now, if you're looking for a good in-between, then I'd recommend an A-frame ladder from Telescopic, because what's great about that is going to have the same style, that extra support on the back side of it, and it's going to be retractable like this. The only downside is that's going to be at a much more premium price range. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid choice for a ladder for your camper. Now, when I first had my hands on this, I was actually a little skeptical because one of the things I noticed first off was just that flex. And I wasn't super happy or thrilled to see that, but actually using this a few times, getting up here and getting back down, I don't have any complaints. This still feels really reliable. Now, we do have a lot of great options out there. Like I was saying earlier, there are those A-frame ladders or the Telescopic ladders, which are very compact too. Now this, I think, kind of gives you the best of both worlds, where you do have this very compact ladder at a very affordable price range. But again, that was just a look at the Lippert On-The-Go Telescoping Ladder. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.